Yep, it's Monday. Sorry, I was responding to customer tickets and was out in the shop all morning, so I didn't get too much done. And then had to get a new phone set up because my S10 Plus was acting up. So it's been a pretty crazy day. I've also been up since like 6 a.m. This is now my second thing of maw I am mixing up. Dear God. I feel like maybe if I just get a cocaine habit, it'll be cheaper and more effective. Anyways, just kidding, kids. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Yeah, so anyways, we're going to do an Ask Tim stream here for at least 45 minutes. I forgot to turn my fill light on. There we go. You can see how pasty wet I am because I don't get outside much. Anyways, this is the stream where you guys ask me questions and I try to answer them to the best of my abilities. Yeah, so let's see. What do we have that's new going on here? Well, I've been playing more with the Ender 6. It's actually been printing really well. I actually even did a benchy here with a little bit better tuning on the profile. This was at 100 millimeters a second on the Ender 6. Yeah, it prints really nice. Corelli did a really good job on this machine. I'm going to be adding this printer to my personal assortment of printers here, so one of these is going to get bumped off. It might be Woody. I think Woody's going to get moved if this will fit where Woody sits. I think Woody's going to retire. Maybe I'll just I don't know. I don't know what we'll do with Woody. Woody works great. Anybody local in the area that wants a little 200 by 200 by, I think it's like 180 or 200 printer, it works. So, yeah. Just let me know here. Yeah, and I do want to mention, because we've been seeing more and more things popping up. USPS is still having delivery delays. UPS is still doing a good job for the most part. So is FedEx. FedEx has been actually getting stuff out pretty quick, but we don't use FedEx to ship out. We have UPS and USPS. So, but yeah, definitely if you want to get something quick, don't rely on the post office. So if you're more like, sorry, Joe just texted me. But if you're looking for stuff quick, I would definitely recommend ponying up the extra like $3 or $4 for the UPS ground, because most packages they'll ship first class. First class will run you like $3 to $5 depending on the area of the world. UPS ground should be around like 7, 8 to 10 tops. They're definitely doing a lot better job of getting things out quick. So, and we have pickups here every single day. So UPS and USPS both pickups. So if you get an order in, then it will go out the same day if it's placed before 12 p.m. Central Time. That's our cutoff. That's our cutoff, I should say. And then if it comes in after 12 p.m. Central Time, it'll go out the next day. So things are still going pretty well here. Orders are getting out on time. We just added, and I haven't stocked them yet because we're just getting everything ready to go. I got to get the firmware launch, but we will have the LCD conversion kits on the site by Wednesday. That's the goal I'm shooting for. We have, I guess I'll fire up my arm cam here. This is actually my first design I did fully on my own without the help of Aaron or Jerry. They were the two guys that did like all of our design work, and Aaron's no longer with us, but Jerry's also only got limited time here. So I spent this weekend and did a design for the Ender 6 for the Easy ABL, and I have let's see here. I have many mounts here. So these are all the revisions, multiple revisions of the bracket, and this is what we ended up. This is what I ended up doing here. I even put, you can kind of see here, it says Easy ABL right here. I did a little recessed text here, and I even got our logo here. and this bolts on right with the stock screws, so you don't even need longer screws for this particular machine. I always try to do that when we're designing mounts, to use the existing hardware that's already there. So, and this sensor is an older one. This was a customer return I've had sitting in my drawer, hence why it's red and not blue. All of our new Easy ABL Pros are a blue color up top here. So, but I get the hand-me-downs and returns. So, but you can see here, I got it at a point where the adjustment screw is not covered. I've got cutouts on the rear. Where's my mount that I had? Here it is. I've actually got little recesses here for the belts so that it actually sits on the belt correctly, because otherwise the belt would push it forward. And even with this mount here, we can actually get 265 by 265 on the bed in terms of print area. So Creality advertised this as a 260 by 260, but we're actually able to get a little bit more. And it just uses, these are stock screws that came on the hot end. And that one I just took off there is a PLA mount. I'm probably going to end up enclosing this, so I'm going to go with an ABS one, which is what this other one is. And the screws all fit in here nicely. I got a recess there for the style of screws that Creality uses on this. And little M3 holes here. You can just push the screws through, and then it bolts on right here to this point. Let me see. There we go. Let's get in there. So it bolts on here, and it's really solid. So I'm really happy with how it came out. Really proud of myself that I did this all on my own. So without anybody else's help. So, but there we go. You can see it's a solid mount. Took me a couple revisions to get it to where I want it, but there we go. And it's a nice snug fit on the sensor. So there's some resistance when you put it in, but it's going to work really well. And you can see here, I'm pushing the whole carriage down when I push on the mount. So it came out well. So if you guys have an Ender 6 and you want to get the Easy ABL on here, you'll be able to order the stuff to do that on Wednesday, because we will only be supporting the 12864 LCD, because the stock one is the same story as all of Creality's other ones. And this does work. You can see here. Yes, I use Fusion 360. Yeah, I say that until Creality changes the screws again. Yeah, they like to do that. But yeah, we're all up and running here. We've got the firmware all sorted out. I meant to hit auto home. But yeah, we're in business. So there goes home in the Z. But yeah, so there's an update if you guys are waiting for a firmware for that. We'll have it. You just got to change the LCD out. And we actually have a housing here that I was taking photos with. So we have them in PLA and ABS, and we're doing all of our LCD housings now on the textured plates. So they have this nice surface on them. So if you guys order the newer brackets, like the Ender 6 one, they will come printed on our EasyFlex textured, so they have that nice finish on them. And yeah, the LCD just fits right in here, and the knob will get pressed on there, and there's 4 screws that go in the back, 2 screws that screw in from the actual printer frame itself, and then 2 M3s through the bottom, which is what the printer comes with. So when you get the full kit, you'll actually get all the screws as well with it, for the LCD, for the bracket itself, the LCD with the cables, and the housing that we designed as well. So but yeah, we also will have the bracket itself, or the housing, the LCD housing itself, separately, in the event that like we don't have the LCD screen to do the bundle. And you could just use M3 screws to secure it into there, or we use a little number 4 1/2-inch wood screws. Wood screws are really nice for biting into the printed parts because they thread right in. So let's see here. Puppy, what are you doing? Come here. I got the Remo today. So There he is. He's a little tired right now. So, hi. Don't bite my beard, please. Anyways, let's see what we got going on in chat here. Pop out chat. Sorry if I'm not as peppy today. It's already been a long day and it's only almost 3 o'clock. Let's see here. Oh man, you're gonna whine, aren't you? He's like, put me down, I cannot be contained. Let's see what questions we have in chat. 3D printing and painting. I sure wish Tim saw the CR10 Max boards that were on sale. Yeah, we put those on sale because nobody was buying them at the MSRP. So we put those on sale to get rid of them. We will not be restocking those because nobody bought them. So you'll have to go directly through Creality if you want to get some. So we try to stock those parts, but you know, I ordered 10 of them and it took us 9 months to sell 10 of them. So I'm never reordering those again. Yeah. If you guys see something that's like on deep sale, like, you know, it's like, you know, 30-40% off, that usually means we're discontinuing it. So I think those also had clearance in the tag. But once we sold them below cost, they sold. Imagine that. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Sorry, people are pinging me right now. Anyways, let's see here. Subaru Dude WRXT got TL smoothers and dampeners. All I succeeded on doing is making the Ender 5 louder. Yeah, don't use smoothers anymore. You can on the Ender 3s with the stock boards, like the old 8-bit ones, but smoothers are pretty much out of fashion at this point. If you switch out your board to like our easy board, you'll get quiet drivers and your motors will be a lot quieter, and you'll also get rid of salmon skin because EasyBoard does not have that issue. Let's see. Zenr7, he said, I bought the Flexi 2, but I live in the UK, so I put a friend's address for it to get delivered to. Yeah, that works. We don't ship to the UK anymore because filing taxes over there would be a pain. And our market share was so small over there, it wasn't worth it. Joe is asking, can you give your settings for the Ender 6? I might post them later. I'm going to do a video stream. I'd like to do it tonight. I got to see what Samantha has in terms of plans for tonight, whether she wants to hang out or not. If she doesn't, then I might do a late night stream tonight. If not, then I'll do one tomorrow because I want to get this machine all kitted out with our stuff. I've got a whole box of goodies for it. Let me see here. Yeah. So I went shopping in my own shop here, and I've got a few things I want to do. I also got some parts for doing another video, so I grabbed some of our 12-gauge wire here with the ends and a MOSFET. This is for a CR10S Pro I have sitting in the garage that the stock MOSFET is going out on. So I was going to do a video. I don't know if I'm going to do an edited video. I might just do it a live stream because I can run through it pretty seamlessly. I've done it a few times, but I want to show people how to put our MOSFET into a CR10S Pro and what you need. Basically, you'll need this, the wire set, 12-gauge wire set, and the MOSFET itself, and then a printed part. But for the Ender 6, this is what I'm doing. So I got, I just used this red one for fitment. So I got a brand new EasyABL Pro 18 here. I've got 1 meter of tough tube. And then the EasyABL control box. And I'm going to swap out the stock power supply with a 350 watt meanwhile. This is our 350 watt 24 volt meanwhile we sell in the shop. So I'm going to be taking out the Changling one, and then also the I'm swapping the PTFE fittings out because Crealities are known to have problems. And also, since you know I ordered from the store, I got myself some Smarties and our little sticker and pack-in card. So that's what my plans for my Ender 6 are. I am going to grab... we have a cable at our shop that's originally was made for the Ender 5 Plus, but it's also going to work on the Ender 6. And I'll go over using that because you can connect the EasyABL a couple different ways. The cheapest way is just to snip the wires on the end stop and put them right into our screw terminal on our EasyABL control board. But for those of you that don't want to cut your wires, we've got like a $4 cable that goes from the control board to the EasyABL board. And what I think I'm going to do is, since EasyABL wire is long enough, I'm going to go all the way up the wire loom down into the bottom of the printer and put the EasyABL control board in the bottom of the printer, so that way it's all clean and everything. So, yeah, you can't download the firmware right now. That page is just there for when I push the firmware live, so you won't be able... You're going to click that link, it's going to go nowhere because it doesn't exist on GitHub right now. So, let me ping Samantha. I think Puppy needs to go OUT. Watch this. I'm just gonna say, hey, can you take dumbass out, and she'll understand who I'm talking about. Let's see here. Okay, so Hankus253, do you think the Ender 6 will do ABS well, even with the open top? No, I tried. It warps. So what I'm going to do is either... I was talking to Joe about us making a top for it. Creality has a top, but the only place I saw that carried it was 3D Prima, and their website is like all sorts of messed up, and I couldn't even pay for it. Like, it said I did, but then it actually didn't charge me. And Creality has like their VIP mall store, which has the top on it. But the thing is, the top's only like this tall. So like, you see how like you might not be able to see it right here, but the wire loom goes up a good 8 or 9 inches. So I guess you would have to fold it over. So the thing is, I'm toying around with the idea of us just building like our own top, because I can cut acrylic here on our laser cutter and just maybe, you know, make like 15 or 20 of the tops and see how they sell, because we can cut them here. We've got a 27 by 20 inch 80 watt CO2 laser here. Or maybe I'll just, you know, design one and then put the files out there. I'm not sure, but I want to put a top on it so I can have it as an ABS machine, because I have 2 printers here that are enclosed. I got an Ender 5 Plus that's enclosed and a custom built AM8 that's enclosed, and I do a lot of ABS stuff. So, but let's see. Norm Green, can I run a Costal Delta with the EasyBoard and EasyABL? You could. We have the DIY firmware, but that's not set up for Deltas. Our board, the EasyBoard, is in Marlin, like regular, plain old, we call it vanilla Marlin, like, you know, untouched, right from the source. You could. I don't have any in stock right now. We did get our hands on some processors, so we should be getting them relatively soon. And by soon, I mean like 2 to 3 weeks. Like, we have the processors are being made. That was a problem. Our assembler was getting ready to fire everything up and start getting the pick and places going, and they didn't have CPUs. So, but yeah, we have them. So when we get them back in stock, if you guys want one, I don't know when our next batch will be after this, because we can't physically find the processors. They either they exist and they're like $60 a chip right now. The lowest I've seen is $45, and that's from some sketchy vendors. But you know, the reality is the next batch we have, there's 120 of them coming in. So once that's in stock, unless the silicon shortage starts letting up, that's all we're going to have for a while. And it sucks, because like, that's a huge revenue stream for us. And I know people really like the boards. I really like the boards. So, you know, I know a lot of other places are in a shitty situation like this too. There's literally nothing we can do, and it sucks. So, let's see here. Chat jumped on me. JZ Rocks is asking, what hot end would you recommend for the Sunloom S8? I'm currently running a CR10 hot end. Honestly, I would stick with the CR10 hot end. I think they're decent hot ends. If you really want to go, you know, for an upgrade, like a V6 style one would be good, but honestly, like, think about what you're doing with the printer. Are you having any issues that are related to the hot end? Is it limiting you? Because the main thing I would do is just change the tubing out for something like our tough tube, which I just happen to have here because I put this on all our machines. Like the Creality machines, I don't change the hot ends out anymore. I'll put the tubing on here to give me tighter tolerances and more temp resistant, because this tubing will go up to 275C for continual use. So if you're printing under 275C, it's a really cheap and really quick upgrade. You just change your tubing out. So, you know, especially on a printer that's got this really long Bowden tube on here, this is going to take a lot of the slop out on my retractions and everything. So, Severo says, hey, what upgrades did you do on the Soval SV01? I didn't do too much on there. I did the Easy Flex. I solid mounted the bed with our solid bed mounts, put our Easy ABL on it. And we have two of them here. One of them has a stock board and the other one has an Easy board in it. The one that has the Easy board in it was in my office, but that's about it. I'm still running the stock hot end, the stock extruder. They're in the print farm. They're doing really well. Both of them, the one with the Easy board and the one with the stock board. But, you know, it's already got a filament sensor, so I didn't need to put that on there. Basically just a flex plate system and our Easy ABL system, and mounted the bed with the solid mounts instead of the springs. And they've been great machines. I still like the Soval SV01. Just replying to a team's message. One of our shipping people was asking, it looks like someone accidentally placed a duplicate order. I was like, I'll just hold off it. If it's exactly the same, it's probably a duplicate, especially since they came in within a couple minutes of each other. Let's see here. Carl Smith, is there a problem with the Z offset wizard? I ran the wizard, followed it. My hot end slammed to my new Easy Flex plate. I've seen others with this problem. Yes, don't use the Z offset wizard. The latest version of our firmware, we have made it so you have to turn it on, and it's in the community requested features. Just set your Z offset with the directions we have for like our Easy ABL. I do not like the Z offset wizard. It is a nice idea and it did kind of work, but to be honest, all I do when I'm setting up a new printer, and what I'll do when I'm setting the Ender 6 up, what I'll do is I'll get the Easy ABL installed, make sure my M119 is showing that it's triggered and open like it should, and then I'll run the first print and I'll just set my Z offset by pressing the LCD button twice on the screen and adjusting it while the first print is going. After installing the kit, and then I just go to configuration, I store my settings. That's how I get my offset. You can also get your offset by homing the machine, moving it down, and then adjusting it until it grabs the paper. Those are basically the two different ways I use. I'll either set it on the first print using the live adjustment, or I'll go ahead and do the home and then move it down and then get my offset that method. But stay away from the Z offset wizard. There's a reason why we pulled it from the last couple of releases. It's going to remain disabled. Yeah, don't use it. Jeremy Campbell, what's the best way to ground your heated bed? Take a piece of 14 gauge stranded wire, like even house wire, crimp an end on it, bolt it to the frame, and run it back to your ground on your printer power supply. That's what I do. Like when we do AC bed builds, like we did a couple CR10 S5s. I think I've built like 10 of those at this point, because those are massive machines. I'll run a 12 gauge wire, like 12 gauge stranded, just greenhouse wire, put a eye loop on the end, crimp it, bolt it to the frame, run it back to the ground on the power cord. And that's how I do the grounding on there. So Jonathan Barnes, are the pups with mom? Yeah. She just took Remo to take him out because he was whining, and I didn't feel like cleaning up pee in my office. He's been doing really well. Basically, if we listen to him when he starts whining to take him out, he doesn't have an accident. David Pellerin, what's the ET on the new Ender 3 lead screw couplers? We should have, I'm sure you're talking about our general, our upgraded couplers that we sell. I got shipment notification on those 2 days ago, so we should have them in about a week or two tops. Those are coming DHL Air, so those should get here pretty quick. Bennett Oz, what multimeter do I use? This is the one I use on my, if I'm just doing quick things like checking voltages really quick. If I do more precise stuff, I do have a bench meter. It's back there. I have a Sigland SDM 3055. I use that if I need more precision, but I actually really like this guy. This is a Klein MM700, and this does all sorts of different things. The only thing I don't like is it is auto ranging, but you can go ahead and, you know, like change it to a manual range mode if you want to. The only thing I don't like is that looking like this, it's hard to see, but I guess they have the screen viewing angle set up, so if it's like on its stand, because it does have a built-in stand, which I do like, you can see it clearly here, and it does have like a backlight on it. So, you know, if it's on its stand, it's easy to read, but you start tilting it forward, see how it gets kind of ghosty. But this is not too bad. It was like, I want to say it was like 110 bucks. These are not the stock probe leads that come in. I actually get these from Louis Rossman's store. I don't know if he still carries them. But I use these because I probe a lot of small stuff. These are gold-plated fine point ones. These are very sharp. Like, you could stab this into yourself and it'll go into your skin. That's how sharp they are. But they're really great for probing tiny components. But that's my go-to for like a little portable meter. I thought I was gonna buy a Fluke, but my buddy has that one and recommended it, so I gave it a shot, and I'm pretty happy with it. So can't beat it. Klein makes good stuff. I put Klein like in the mid tier. Fluke is obviously your higher end stuff, but you know, even for me, like most of the stuff I'm doing testing on my bench here, a standard cheaper meter will work. I just went with this one because this is a true RMS meter, so it's a little more accurate. I'm not really using it to its full potential, but Klein in general makes very good equipment for a fair price. They're not the cheapest, they're not the most expensive. I put them right into the middle, and that's kind of where I try to buy my test equipment and, you know, other tools is I try to buy in the mid-range. I don't buy the super high-end stuff. You know, I kind of stay in the middle and read reviews too. So but if you guys are doing your 3D printers, every single one of you watching, if you have a 3D printer, and I assume you are because you're watching this stream, if you don't have a multimeter, go and buy a multimeter like today. Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, Menards, whatever you have by you. If you got Menards, go to Menards. I love Menards. On Amazon, there's one called Astro AI is the brand. I had a couple of those. And we have them in the shop, and they've been holding up pretty well. Tack Life's another brand that I bought from Amazon that's a cheaper meter, and they've held up well. The main thing that seems to go on the cheaper meters is the probe leads, so I'd recommend getting just a cheap meter and buy a set of decent probe leads like these. These will run you like $10, and they'll take that little basic meter to a much nicer one because it'll have a more reliable connection. Let's see here. It looks like it's not Athlon, but Athlon. I don't know. He's asking about the MKS E3P. Did I already test it? I have not had a chance to do that. Sam Settleoff, have you thought about doing a profile repo for S3D? No, because that would mean I would have to maintain it, and I don't need more stuff to maintain here. DB3D Dan, do I have a CR10 laying around that you want to sell on the cheap? I'll have a CR10 V2 that will be selling in the next couple weeks here. I got to do one video for it. But that probably won't be that cheap because it's going to have the $100 direct drive upgrade on it. I don't think we have any larger machines that we're going to be getting rid of anytime soon. So, 3D Jeff's asking, why do I keep getting this? Can't open device. You have something open. You have something open connected to your COM port, your slicer or something else that's connected to the COM port. So you can't flash your board if something else is connected to the COM port. Only one device can be connected to a COM port at one time. Kesmir says, you ship to the Netherlands. Yes, we do ship to the Netherlands. Dad Adams jumped on the mall bandwagon. Yeah, I got Joe hooked on it. I love this stuff. It's nice not spending a ton of money on energy drinks. It saves a lot of money over time. So, also they have subscription, and I do the subscription. I get I sign up for the watermelon one, so They deliver it every 2 weeks. So, but I'm drinking I got this is their apple one. They call it Green Growl. This is probably my second favorite one. So, but the watermelon one they have, the Mythic Melon, is like probably my favorite. If you ever had like a watermelon or a watermelon Jolly Rancher, that's what I would describe to it. It's delicious. I love watermelon, so or the fake watermelon, whatever you want to call it. Bennett Oz, is there a reason behind the Smarties? My wife always notices it's in the box. We just like sending out candy. We've got if you have a preference, we do right now anyways when we're streaming, like as of right now 3/29/21. We also have blue Dum Dum suckers, the cotton candy ones. So if you guys would like some extra candy in your order, just put a little note in there saying you'd like throw some Dum Dums in there. I've got a bunch of boxes of them. So once the Smarties are out, we'll start sending out Dum Dums. I like to change up the candy once in a while. I like Smarties, and I also like Dum Dum suckers. Like, they're a classic. So, but let's see. Our Mills, the Easy Flow nozzles are the nickel-coated copper ones. Yes. Yeah, those are heat-treated copper with like a nickel anti-stick wear-resistant coating on there. I have those on most of my machines in here now. I really do think they print slightly cleaner. Brass nozzles work great, but just comparing, I should do a side-by-side comparison test, just like literally, because I was going to put one in my Easy 300 machine here. I should do like a benchy before and after and see if there's like a noticeable difference. So, but the main thing I like about the Easy Flow nozzle is that coating makes the filament harder to stick. So you guys ever notice when you're printing and like if you have little wispies and stuff that come up, they accumulate on the nozzle and eventually drop off into this burnt charred mess on your print. It's much harder for it to do it on the Easy Flow. So I always run a silicone sock on my hot end and with the Easy Flow nozzle, and that helps keep things pretty clean. So 1V Keller says, I've got a Sunlu S8 and replacing the hot end extruder. I'd like to replace the board. I'd like to add a BL Touch. What board would you recommend? For that one, I've seen a lot of guys doing the MKS S Gen L V2s. If I was replacing the stock board, that's what I would probably go with as well. Just know that you're going to have to do a lot of work to get it to fit in there. You'll probably have to print brackets, or if you want to go old school, bust out the Dremel and get creative. You can find like generic mounting plates for a lot of boards, like the S Gen L V2. We'll work with MKS Gen L mounts that are already on Thingiverse, SKR 13, 14 turbo mounts. All those boards use the same mounting hole pattern. So it's kind of like our Easy board because it's a Creality footprint. Anything on Thingiverse that works for the Creality boards to mount them, the SKR E3 mini boards to mount them, will also work to mount the Easy board. Let's see here. Xanar7, how about a pre-order on that? I'm not sure what you're asking. Let me know what you're asking about the pre-order, because I'm assuming that chat message came in when I was talking about something else. John Santiago says, my new Ender 3 Pro periodically beeps while printing and the screen develops weird characters on the display. EMI board would fix that? Probably not going to fix that. The only thing the EMI board addresses is where you have either your feed rates going up and down automatically or the button is acting like it's getting pressed over and over again. So literally just the rotary encoder side of things. So the knob like this way and that way phantom happening, or like the button getting pressed over and over. That's all that board fixed. If you're getting corruption, I would try swapping the LCD. Maybe you have a bad LCD, but it could be an electrical interference issue. So I would check the grounding on the printer. Try even like if you have just regular bare cables, which is what Creality ships now. They used to have ones that were wrapped in like this like a metallic tape to help reduce interference, and they got away from that probably to cut costs. But you could always take them and take, like, you're gonna laugh, but take tin foil, cut it to one layer, and then wrap electrical tape around that, and that works as a makeshift kind of shielding of sorts. But that could at least give you an idea. You could also try, just for quick troubleshooting, take the LCD off the printer and move it as far away as the cable will allow you, and move the cable away from any power wires as best you can, and see if it still keeps screwing up. If it does, then you might just have a bad LCD or a bad control board. If you have other printers that have the same LCD, try switching the LCD out and see if the problem keeps happening. And then kind of go for that. So Gregory is asking, is the dual Z kit worth doing on the Ender 3 and V2? I think it is. I have it on mine here, and this is the one thing I really like about it, is that the big issue on the Ender 3s is because the gantry is unsupported on the one side, it likes to sag down, especially if you're going direct drive where it's heavier. When you're dealing with like auto bed leveling, for example, you have to have your gantry even and level across the two uprights. So the distance between on the left and right, the distance between the bottom of that extrusion and your printer frame has to be the same. And if that gantry is sagging down because there's slop, it'll throw your bed leveling mesh off. Whereas when you put the dual Z kit on there, because it, like with our kit anyways, it's a mechanical kit, and we just got a bunch of those back in stock. So if you guys are waiting on them, we have them. We just finished doing all the QC. We literally check every single part in those kits to make sure everything's great. We clean things up and check all the bearings and everything to make sure you guys get something that works. You're not, ordering something and waiting and it shows up and half the stuff's broken. But I think they're worth it because it keeps the gantry where it should be. It doesn't allow it to go like this or this. It just makes the machine more consistent. I'm sure there's people in here that have our dual Z kit, and feel free to chime in. Like, do you guys think it was worth the upgrade? I haven't seen any customers that hate it. Everybody seems to be like, yeah, this was a good upgrade, or they love it. I don't think we've ever gotten a return on those, to be completely honest, either. It's a solid little upgrade, and we went the mechanical route because it's a lot simpler than having somebody put a dual stepper, like 2 motors on. And that also doesn't solve the issue of the gantry sagging. So if you just put a second Z motor on, yeah, it'll keep it locked while it's printing, but it can still go down. The mechanical one, it's simple, it works, and it just does what it should. Let's see here. My chat jumped on me again. Hang on. Let me go all the way down. Please don't spam chat. All it's going to do is make you get a timeout. And I'm not going to read your stuff if you spam chat. There we go. Yeah, don't spam the chat. That's annoying. How many times did this... Are you serious? I just saw the couple. This guy spammed like literally a dozen messages. Bye-bye. Let's see here. Next question is blank. He says, I installed Meanwhile 350 in my Ender 6, but it's set to 24.75 volts. Should I leave it as is or low it? Nah, you're fine. As long as you're within like 1 to 2 volts of 24, you're fine. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Gabe Ortiz says, I set my Easy Build Pro, but I get a deviation between the back and front of the bed. Isn't it supposed to compensate? I would check your belt on the Y. I'm assuming what you mean by deviation is it's closer on either the front or the back. It's kind of like a tilted result, so like this or this. Whenever I've had that happen, and this is in the help center, there's a article in there called how to fix a slanting bed result, and this can happen with any sensor. But when I've had it happen, and it took me a while to figure it out, which is why we made sure to document it, is that if your Y belt is over tension, it can actually skew when it's probing, and then you get that weird result. So I would check that. If it's front to back, that usually means your issue's on the Y-axis, and if it's left to right, that usually means it's on the X-axis. So run through that. I'll post the link in the chat here. Hang on. If you just search slanting, it's the first one that comes up here. But I'll link you there. Give that a read, Gabe. The easiest way to see if your probe is working, and this is how you can rule out. And this was with our probe with the BL Touch. If you're like, I don't know if the probe's working or not, run the M48 test. The M48 test is going to run a set of tests on the probe and then measure how repeatable it is. So if your probe is working correctly, then the M48 test will show a low result. A low result means 0.01 or lower. So anything under 0.01 is considered good. And if you're consistently getting under 0.01, you can rule out the actual sensor itself being the issue. Now, the only thing to mention is that if your probe mount is skewed, your M48 result will still probably come back fine. So you want to make sure that the probe mount you're using is putting the tip of the probe flat and not like cockeyed. Maybe you printed it with low infill and it's flexing a little, or maybe there's a crack, or maybe it's just not mounted completely straight. You want to make sure that your probe is as flat when it's mounted. Not like this, not like this, not like that. You want to make sure it's flat. Otherwise, you can get some weird results. So, and I'll post that in the chat here too. The M48 test. So if you guys aren't familiar with the M48 test, hit that link and become familiar with it. If you have an ABL Pro, whether you have our Easy ABL Pro or you got a BL Touch or something else, the M48 test is built into Marlin. It's a really nice feature for troubleshooting. Sam Sedeloff has the 121GW from EEV blog. Oh, I'm a little jealous. I wanted one of those, but I think they were out of stock, and then I ended up buying that. I'm looking it up right now. Does he have more of them? Yeah, they're out of stock. Yeah, the 121GW is a nice one. I think they were like $299. Yeah, $299 AU to USD. What is that in USD? Yeah, $228. Yeah, the features on that for the price are really good. And I accidentally just closed live chat. Hang on. I'm still streaming, but I accidentally closed live chat. Where's live chat? Where did it go? I'm sorry, I totally flaked here. And where is it? Pop out chat. There we go. Let me go back here. We were talking about the EV blog one. Oh no, I think I lost some chat. Did I lose some chat? Hang on. Streamlabs might have it here. Streamlabs has it. I can't reply from Streamlabs, but I can view it. It does have the chat history. Let me see here. Yeah, do we ship to the Netherlands? 121GW. Okay. Let's see the next question here. Xkilla says, if you happen to be in the west side of Indianapolis area, go to pawn shops and you find fluke meters from Lincoln Tech students pawning them off. I hope they're pawning theirs off and not the schools. If those are schools, that's pretty shitty. Super Nerd, is there a pro version of the Ender 6? Not as far as I know. But knowing Creality, there might be at some point. After people have been asking me, now I spent a little more time with the Ender 6 and I got rid of the LCD. The LCD is the thing I hated about it. This is a nice machine. I'm just gonna say it. It's a nice machine. The stock board's pretty nice. You know, it's nothing to write home about in terms of like the board that's in it, but it works. It's 32-bit. I think Creality did a good job on it. We'll see, because my plan is it's going to get thrown in here, and I'm going to be running a ton of print jobs on it. So it's going to get its ass kicked, and we'll see what breaks on it after a good month of just printing a ton of stuff on it all day. I say 3D Jeff works at Menards. I love Menards. Home Depot really pissed me off over a dishwasher that they failed to deliver and then screwed us over on getting a refund. So I only shop at Menards and Lowe's now, but we have Menards here. I love Menards. Let's see here. Do I ship to Scotland? Yeah, we do ship to Scotland. Scotland. I'm probably doing the accent wrong. Although I probably need to be drunk to do the accent correctly. Would that be a correct assumption? I know the Scots like to drink too. Do you recommend using a dust filler for filament when printing? Unless you're in a wood shop, no. Top at Waffle says, I missed the nerds talking about candy. Yeah, we had nerds. When COVID hit, or sorry, the human malware. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. When the human malware hit, the nerd supply dried up, and I was like, well, shit, we got to get our customers their candy. And we are putting candy in all orders, even international ones, because we started doing some A/B testing, and we found that it really doesn't matter if we ship candy in there or not. The customs stops them with or without candy, so screw it, candy for all orders. But yeah, we had the little boxes of Nerds. I gotta check and see if we can get those again. But me personally, while Nerds are great, I'm not gonna discount Nerds. I really like Smarties. So, and when you guys get your Smarties, pay attention, because we not only have the original Smarties, but we also have the extreme sour ones, and they look very similar. So, let's see here. Let's see. Lion King is asking, will your ground method actually work given the bed sits on rubber silicone wheel in most cases? Yes, because you're going to ground the bed directly. You're not going to ground the carriage, you're going to ground the plate. So, what's your MAW code? Oh, Blazeby. It's easy energy. That's 10% off. And then that also gives us a sale too. So, I should set up Nightbot to like plug the MAW. That'd be kind of cool. I will set that up in a little bit here. How's that? Exclamation point MAW. Let's see. Murat says, hey Tim, I know that you don't like the bluer, but I have two bluers. Only difference between them is firmware, but one is more noisy. While both has TMC 2208 drivers, one is quieter significantly. What could be the reason? Are they the same brand of drivers? Because some 2208s are louder than others depending on how they were implemented on the PCB. Or you could also have ones that are in spread cycle mode and not stealth chop. One way to see it would be swap the drivers and see if the noise level follows the drivers or if it is a firmware issue. But I have not spent any time with the bluer. I won't be spending any more time with the bluer. It's just a pain in the ass. Let's see here. I'm just pulling up some links here. See if this will work. Let's see. Go ahead, Tar. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it'll work that quick or not. I just said it, but I don't know if it's gonna pull it in. Maybe there's a delay on Nightbot. We'll see. Anyways, back on. Oh, hey, it worked. Awesome. There we go. Nightbot. Oh, that amused me too much. Let's see. On the easy board, what's the max length of the ribbon cable for the LCD screen? In general, I don't recommend going over 1 meter. Even that's pushing it. If you're gonna basically, in general, like, it has nothing to do with the board really, because they all run on the same signaling and voltage and everything. When you route the cable longer, like I've got longer runs on my AM8 build back here, I had to move the cables away from the power wires, because if I didn't, then I was getting corruption on the screen. I don't know if there's a limit. Obviously, there's a limit to some point because the signal levels will just drop off. But I'd say under a meter. We sell 60 centimeter cables for the LCDs, and I found those work well. But again, when you're running those longer cables, move them away from like stepper wires, heater wires, power wires, that kind of stuff. Try to route them away from all that stuff. If you can't, then wrap them in some sort of foil or foil tape, that kind of stuff, to cut down on the interference. Let's see here. I'm going to answer a couple more questions here, and then we are going to wrap it up, because I just realized it's already 3:30. Someone's commenting on my shirt. If you guys, this is in our shop, so if you go to th3dstore.com and click merch at the top, This is printer spaghetti. You can actually get this on here. It's a little Ender 3 making some spaghetti. Let's see. Laura Farrell says, have you any advice for cleaning a Creality glass plate? I just upgraded to newer Creality printer and used to the glass or a sticker. Just use my preferred method is just alcohol. IPA 99%. You can use 70 if you want. I use 99%. That's usually what we buy. We buy 90 plus, but usually it ends up being 99%. Just IPA on a rag and wipe it down, let it dry, and that will make sure it's completely clean. If you don't have IPA, you can try using glass cleaner, but I found that glass cleaner, because it has like the anti-streak stuff in that, can sometimes make it so prints don't stick to it. Alcohol is really good for cleaning your printer bed because it just strips everything off of there too. I haven't tried it. I don't know if it'll damage those Creality plates, but the acetone would work fine. Acetone would work fine on glass. But I don't know if acetone will strip the Creality, like the coating on it. Like the Ender 6 has a like glass plate. I don't know if acetone will eat through that, because acetone will eat through a lot of stuff. But yeah, let me see if there's any other quick messages here. Oh, I totally forgot about the forum. Sorry. Today has been just crazy. I thought about canceling the stream, to be completely honest with you guys. But I wanted to do something, but yeah. Oh, the forum is up. I forgot to turn it off from the last one, so there's that. It's been open this entire time. PID, Dominic is asking, PID to address Z banding. I've heard that it can address it. Like I said before, like in our firmware, if you're using the TH3D Unified firmware, even if you're in the bang bang regulation, you're still getting a half a second where it's checking the temperature, so the fluctuation's a lot lower than Marlin default, which is 5 seconds. Yeah, I would I would recommend doing either changing the loop for the bang bang if you're not using our firmware to like half a second, or use PID. Just know that when you do PID on the bed, you're going to want to run a PID tune on it, and with a bed that can take 10 to 15 minutes because, you know, the bed temperature goes up and down very slowly. So let's see. Oh, that's about Scotland and UK, I believe, because those are different locations. Unless the UK shows up in Scotland. I'm from the US. I'm not familiar with your guys' setups there. Is that a separate listing here? I know the UK we stopped. Oh no, Scotland, yeah. So if that's part of it, yep. And we don't ship to Scotland. My apologies. Yeah, it's not on the list here. I'm checking our site right now. Yeah, if Scotland's part of the UK, then no. Like if you put UK in the country code for checkout, then no. I'm just an ignorant American apparently. I'm looking here. Yeah, no, Scotland's not a separate country list, so yeah. Yeah, it totally slipped my mind. It's hard keeping track of all this stuff. You know, it'd be like me asking somebody to keep track of things over here with all our different states and stuff. Anyways, let me see here. Just seeing if there's any other quick questions I can answer before I wrap this up, because we are at the 1 hour mark. Blank is asking, I want to order your PI kit for the Sierra 10S Pro V2 and the Ender 6. What size do I need to order for the Ender 6? So the Sierra 10S Pro would be the 310 by 320 size. The Ender 6, and I was going to go over this. So your Ender 6 print area is only 250 by 250 with the stock firmware. I found that I can actually get 265 by 265 on mine, even with the ABL mount on there. So basically you have one of two options. You can either go with, because we don't have a 290 by 290 plate, because a physical bed is 290 by 290 on this printer. So your options are, you can go with the 260 by 260 plate and magnet, and then stick the magnet down inside the actual print area. So what I recommend people do is, if you're putting a plate on a printer that's not like officially sized for it, is move your X to the X and Y to 0, 0, mark that corner, and then move your X and Y to the max position and mark that corner, and then line up the two corners of your magnet or even build sheet, like if you're doing easy mat or easy PI right on the bed, and you line those two corners up and then stick it down. And what that will do is it will put the actual surface you're printing on in the print area, because it doesn't matter if you don't physically cover your whole bed. What you want to do is cover the physical print area. So for the Ender 6, I'll show you what I mean here, because I'll demo this real quick, because it's easier to just show you guys. So let me manually move this bed up here, otherwise it's going to take forever to home. Okay, so let's say I want to put the EasyFlex 260 on here, because we have a 260 size that was originally designed for the G-Techs, because those are 260 by 260. So first thing is, no matter what you're doing, if you have a printer like this, the CR6 is like this too, you want to remove these little metal tabs, so you would unscrew these. So I know that this is all the way home in the back, and let me get a marker here. So this is at the max position now. So this is 250 by 250. Now, if I get in here and I do a little mark, put a little mark on my bed underneath the nozzle. And what I'm going to do is move my X to 0. So I just went to the LCD. I moved it to 0. I'm going to do the same thing for Y. So now I've got a little dot back here, and I'm going to go here, and kind of a pain to get under there, but let me move the Z down a little bit. Okay, so now I can look and see where my nozzle is. It's right here. And now I have 2 marks on my build plate. So if I shut this off here, you can see I now have 2 marks on my build plate. And I would just take the corners and match it up with that. So there's a mark here. Here's my max, or my 00. So here's my min. Here's my max. So that's where the nozzle home's back there. So I want to make sure that I cover within this area with a plate. So for example, like this is a 235. This is going to be too small. So if you see here, if I were to put this in here, I'm not going to have this much coverage. But if I had like a 260, I could get it as close as I could to this corner here. And this is a 250. So if I measure it this way and this way, this is 250, that's 250. So the 260 would cover this a little bit more. The other option is to do like a 310 by 310 plate, which would cover the whole bed but hang off a little bit. So this is a 310. It's actually 310 by 320, but you get the idea. So you could actually put a larger plate than the bed on here, and this would also work. You would just put the magnet on the magnet's trimming. So you're saying we'd only be hanging off a little bit on each side with a 310 plate. So you could do that. That would also work, and then that would cover the whole build area. And this printer has plenty of room on the rear, the sides, and the front to accommodate a larger plate. So we will eventually get 290s made. I really want to see how popular this printer gets before we go and do a whole run of them. But we have 2 different sizes that would cover the entire print area. This one being the 310 by 310. And then we also have a 260 by 260. Let me see if I can get one of the guys to bring me a 260 by 260 in here. Let me call one of them out in the shop. Maybe I'll just do that instead of putting a 310. Let me see here. I got to call Let me give them a jingle. And then I can show you guys what I mean by covering the print area. Hey, would you mind bringing me in a 260 by 260 magnet and a textured plate? Yes, correct. Yeah. Also, do you grab that other stuff that was out there, the box, the FedEx box? Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, 260 by 260. All right. Yeah. Okay, he's bringing one in so I can show you guys. But I just want to show you guys the two differences. Um, this was, I don't know if I like this. Any of you guys use like these like flip cases? I just got this today. I'm not sure if I like it. I'm gonna give it a chance though. I'm not sure if I like it, but we'll see. Anyways, let's see. I will answer some other questions. The craziness has kind of died down around here, so I can spend a little more time. I hate those. I don't like those. I'm hoping the cameras on this live up to the hype, but we'll see. I gotta take some product photos later. Xanar said what I meant by pre-orders doing it for the easy boards coming in. I don't like doing those because if we had done that, like we placed an order for 300 boards back in January, and if I had done a pre-order, we'd have a lot of people pissed off. I'd rather just get them when we get them. I thought about doing like a VIP program or something. I don't know if we call it VIP, but basically like a program where, you know, people that aren't going to be unreasonable, that they just don't care when it shows up, they just want to get one. You know, instead of just letting it be a free-for-all and everybody ordering them. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically like people that we know we've worked with in the past that aren't going to be, you know, crazy if things get delayed. Sorry about that. I didn't realize my mic was so low. I'm going to blame Microsoft Teams for screwing it. Yeah, they know we are good for it. We're not going to take your money and run like a Kickstarter. So, Sean's bringing the oh, don't bark at him. You know who he is. Come in. Hey, enough. All right. Thank you. Camera.
Oh, you're doing a stream?
Yeah.
Really?
So, anyways, so here's what I was going to show you. So this is a 260 by 260. You just set that on your table there. So here's the magnet, okay? So if we look at this, remember I said this is 250 by 250, so I have my nozzle homes back there. On the under 6, this actually looks pretty easy because you can just center this on here so you have equal space all the way around. So you guys see what I'm talking about? So like on this, I might just do this on here to be completely honest, instead of doing the 310. So basically you would put the magnet on like this, so line it up with the edge, and this ends up giving you pretty much equal space all around. On all 4 sides. So this is a 260 by 260 magnet, and we also have this is the flex plate that goes with it. It's gonna try to, there it goes. So yeah, the 260 by 260 would work on here because like I said, your stock print area is only 250 by 250. So yeah, that would basically that would be the coverage. The only thing is I'd probably set it forward a little bit because you have the tabs, and they do still hang off the edge a little bit, even if it's set back, so you can still lift it off. But those are your options. You either go with the size that covers the print area, or you go the next size up that covers the full bed. So, but it doesn't matter if your plate hangs off a little bit. The important thing is to cover your print area. So I think I'm going to save that for the live stream. I'm going to put that on during the live stream, and I'm going to do the 260 on here. And yeah. I did the same thing with the Daedalus. The Daedalus is like a 300 something by 300 something print area on X and Y. So I put a 310 by 320 on there and call it a day. It works. So let me see if there's anything else here. Someone asked the Sermon D1. I feel like I've heard of that. Is that Creality's? Yeah, that's Creality's new like high-end one. I have not messed with that one. If they send one to us, I'll gladly take a look at it. Blake, has anybody noticed Creality replaced some of the resistors on the 431 board near the stepper drives? Yeah, I noticed that when I was working on it on the live stream. There's a live stream when I was working on getting the firmware running on here. I was like, what the hell is this? They changed the resistors to capacitors for some reason. I have no idea why. Let's see here. I think that's good. I think we're gonna go ahead and just wrap this up because we're a little past. But anyways, I appreciate you guys all stopping by. Hopefully you guys learned something. Also, I want to throw this out there because I don't want to post it because I don't want coupon sites picking up. But if you are in the market for an easy ABL, we reactivated an old code that I'd set up years ago that takes 10% off. So if you want 10% off an easy ABL kit, you can use the code BETTERABL. That's BETTER ABL. And that will take 10% off your easy ABL order. There's also another one floating out there for when we released Ender 3 Max firmware that has a couple of uses left on it. That's a $5 off. And I don't believe our system allows you to stack codes. So if you try one or the other, the 10% off will take like $6 and some change off there. So anyways, I have to get back to work. It's Monday. I will ping Samantha and see if she wants to do something tonight. If she doesn't want to do something tonight, then I will stream the Ender 6. If not, then it will be tomorrow night. So anyways, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Make sure you guys go ahead and enter the giveaway. I just posted the link in the chat again now. It should be there any second. Come on, Knight. Come on, Streamlabs. You can do it. There we go. If you guys want to support us, you can go ahead and pick up some awesome upgrades for your printers at th3dstore.com. Also, check out our communities. You can go to community.th3dstudio.com. There's links to our Discord server, Facebook group, MeWe group. If you want to subscribe to our Telegram channel, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube video, there's 111 people. So hit the subscribe button right now so YouTube gets you notifications when we go live. We try to pre-schedule everything, but sometimes we don't. If you want to get updated, that's how you need to do. You need to hit subscribe, and then I think you click the little bell thing, and it's like there's like a filled-in bell, and there's one that's not filled in. You want to do the filled-in one. But yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next stream. Our next Ask Tim will be at 2 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. Mondays we try to do at 2 p.m., but sometimes things get delayed because as much as I love streaming, sometimes I have to get some work done. So anyways, I hope you guys have an awesome week. I hope you have an awesome Monday. And as always, happy printing.